You got stuffed! This is the Reviewniverse, the show where we make fun of horrible movies, and this week we have one so bad it nearly killed one of our cast members. That being said, let's introduce the co-hosts of the show. Up first, we have Adam J. Hubbard.
Greetings.
Next to him, we have Andrew Bergevin.
Thanksgiving is ruined forever.
And then all the way from, I believe, Virginia, we have Andrew Pabon, the musical composer of the show.
Yep, high-low, peoples.
So, god dang it, guys. Okay, the movie we did this week was called Thankskilling. This was a recommendation from Mr. Andrew Pabon himself, and
You're welcome.
it met with mixed reviews, right? Most of them bad.
Mixed.
Well, this movie, it's set out with the purpose of being bad.
And even says it on the poster.
Yeah, on the box it says that it's bad.
Well, I think that it set out to be a comedy/horror, and it wasn't either of those.
I was pretty scared.
It's very hard to watch.
Well, here's what we got. On Rotten Tomatoes, get this, guys, it got a 42%.
Wow.
But there is a modifier there. That's 42% of users, not critics. The percentage I usually give you is from critics. No critics touched this movie, by the way.
Oh,
Go
God.
figure.
No critics. This was all users, and they got a 42%.
It's way higher than I would think.
Yeah, it's even your average user on Rotten Tomatoes has to be smarter than this, right?
Smarter than what?
Then a 42% for Thankskilling?
David, it's the internet.
I don't know who would take the time out to go to Rotten Tomatoes and actually review
That's a good point, too.
Thankskilling.
I'm going on there right now. I'm going to get on there and give it a 1.
Well, some people did it, and they gave it a 42.
Well, how about this? Anybody listening, go on there, and let's start bringing that number down if we can.
Yeah, like, if you're a critic, like a real critic, like, help us out here. Come on.
We got to do God's work.
For the good of humanity.
So, this movie came out in 2009, and, it's by far the newest movie we've done so far, but here's a little tidbit. In research, I found out that there were no deleted scenes for this movie. Nothing was shot that did not get used.
So all of the 60 minutes made it.
Yeah,
It's all
An
golden.
efficient movie.
Every inch of this 66-minute movie made it into the final cut. So let's all just let that soak in, because holy shit.
Well, we shot it, didn't we? We're gonna use it.
Yeah.
There were no alternate takes either.
That actually makes a lot of sense now. Because there are some scenes where it's like, why? I don't know why this is here.
Like, well, we shot it, and it has to go in, so it's going in.
Huh. This
God,
needs to be 59 minutes to get into Sundance.
And they beat it by a solid 7.
Gosh.
But, okay, so let's get into it. Like, the tagline for this movie was a classic one. Probably the best one I've ever heard. The tagline for Thankskilling was, "Gobble gobble, motherfucker."
That pretty much sums it all up.
Word.
Yeah.
Gosh.
God damn it, that sucks. But in this segment, we make up our own taglines it's got a really sweet name. It's called Taglines.
Whoa!
There's no way you can listen to that and not, shrug your shoulders and do a little bit of the robot, right?
Do a little dance.
If I wasn't pinned down by all this equipment, I probably would.
I put some voodoo in it to make people that it's impossible not to shake something.
It works, too, because every time I hear it, my hands go into, the high-five mode, and it's like I'm slowly karate chopping shit.
It's called Michael Jackson syndrome.
It's genius.
Well, the first alternate tagline I had for this was, "Thankskilling. Even the smart people are stupid."
That's true.
God damn it, no one... the dumb people were very dumb, but the smart people were only marginally more smart than the dumb people.
And weren't they all college kids?
Yeah.
I guess.
They never establish, is it community college or a real college?
No, he's playing football for them, so it has to be a real college.
If it was a community college, that was a really prestigious campus, right?
I imagine all of those kids are probably well on their way to failing out at this point.
All right, so Adam, what was your first alternate tagline for this movie?
First tagline I got is, a movie so bad you know there's going to be boobs.
If only there were more. Andy,
No.
what did you bring to the table?
This is before I had seen the movie, so I came up with Thankskilling. It's a cornucopia of death.
Dumb. All right, Andrew, what did you come up with for this movie?
All right. Thankskilling. I found a turkey puppet in my basement. Yo, you want to make a movie?
Oh, God, that... You probably just captured, like, the pre-post meeting for that friggin'... okay, so
Looking in the past.
Well, can I say something about the boobs?
Please.
What about them?
They weren't even good boobs.
No.
They were
I think we'll
veiny.
cover that probably pretty shortly.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into all that in a second, but... Okay, so my tagline, as soon as I finished watching this movie, it sprang to my head. The second alternate tagline was, Thankskilling. God damn it, Andrew.
How would they put that on their cover?
Like, that last 13 minutes feels like 4 hours.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, Adam, what did you have for your second alternate?
My second one is, you're gonna come back for seconds of murder.
Dumb.
Ba-ba-da-da-da-da.
Okay, Andy, what did you have?
Thankskilling. We wrote our dialogue 2 minutes before we said it.
That's pretty good.
Dialogue by Google Translator. From Chinese. Okay, Andrew, what was your final alternate for this movie?
All right, this is kind of a long one. We made a bad movie. Isn't that funny? No? Okay, well, at least it's 66 minutes.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
tagline covers most of the box.
the only thing this movie had going for it was that it was only 66 minutes, but it is still... It's like 9 hours of bonkers crammed into 66 minutes of footage.
Yeah.
God. Okay, so let's just dive right in. At the beginning of the movie, black screen, then we like some letters pop up telling us what's going on, and they read, "The year is 1621. The
It's ye
olden
olden
days." God. So that, wipes away, and then we have moments after the very first Thanksgiving, cut to a extreme close-up of a pilgrim nipple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just suddenly rack. And it's kind of a saggy old lady rack.
It's actually Wanda Lust. She's a porn star.
Yeah, I did see her name in the
I
credits.
assumed with that name.
I thought the porn star was the slutty girl, but it was actually the grandma pilgrim. So.
This pilgrim woman, it looks like they went a couple doors down the street and found someone's mom.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie? You got to take your top off." And like, she's just in there baking cookies, and she's like, "Oh, why the fuck not?"
These cookies will sit in the oven for an hour. I've got an hour.
And ironically, she was already wearing a pilgrim costume.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, her pilgrim costume is complete, save for the part that would cover her tits.
Oh, it's because you don't know the backstory of what Thankskilling. He actually ripped that in half.
Well, he did it, like, he must be a seamstress, because he ripped it in such a way that was a perfect, like, not L, but like a rectangular shaped cutout of her cans.
Yeah, like they crafted it that way.
Yeah.
Nice tits, bitch. First line of dialogue.
Yeah, that is the first line from our titular character, the turkey. And here's what I love about this turkey. No scary voice, no bizarre gobbling. He just has a regular dude's voice.
Yeah.
He sounds like some urban youth or something from the city.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. He's not speaking Old English. Like, this is 1621, and he says, "Nice tits, bitch."
You would think he would speak like Indian-like.
You'd think. God, like...
You'd think a turkey would speak that way, you know?
Yeah.
And going into this, I had no idea that our turkey was going to be talking the whole time.
Yeah.
I figured it was just going to be like, a murderous turkey. It's like Jaws.
Yeah.
But he uses an axe.
Yeah, well, he doesn't even use the axe consistently. He's like a streetwise turkey from like 09, even though this is 1621, and he uses an axe to kill the woman, which, like, okay, that first sequence, I was like, okay, this is alright. There's boobs right off the bat, there's bound to be more later.
There's turkey vision.
Yeah, the turkey sees like Predator.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The turkey doesn't see colors; he sees infrared, which is.
It looks like he's looking at ultraviolet light the whole time.
Yeah, like I don't get that. Like what's so like even with Predator, what's so great about seeing that way? Yeah, whatever.
Because Wanda Lust is so hot.
That's
Yeah.
it.
She looks hotter in ultraviolet.
Yeah, her boobs are like these big balls of fire, right?
Very veiny.
Yeah, very veiny balls.
I don't
want
to see that in HD. Just
Okay, so like as soon as the axe comes down to kill Wanda Lust, we roll into like this weird. It like the credit sequence reminded me immediately of like the first Spider-Man movie.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, actually.
It goes on for way too long too.
Yeah. Like they needed to let you know that everyone involved in this movie did pretty much everything.
And they're playing this weird like it's like this turkey gobble techno creepy music.
Hip hop remix thing.
Yeah, and the gobble really like lets you know, like what's up. Oh. So after like, and I just kept thinking like, this is friggin' Spider-Man. Like I expected to see him swinging through and like shoot the turkey with some webbing or something.
Oh, I thought you were just going to leave it at shoot the turkey, like
Yeah, Spider-Man was going to run in with a gun and just shoot the turkey.
murderous Spider-Man.
Man,
That's
not
his
gonna kill
style.
it.
So now we cut to the normal movie. Happy music is playing, kind of like, hip alternative shit. And it's just, it's everyday life in college. This is just what it is.
That's what tells us we're in college.
But here's the thing about this college. Only 5 people go to it.
Yeah, nobody else was there
Nobody
at all.
else.
That place was a ghost town, save for our cast. And like the first thing that happens that really lets you know that this movie is going to be awesome. There's a big fat like hillbilly. He's wearing like a camo vest and a wife beater and like a big trucker's hat. And he runs down the stairs and rips his shirt open and is like, "Woo, Thanksgiving break!"
Yeah, who is that excited for Thanksgiving break?
Did you ever go to community college?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I love it.
God, like Thanksgiving, like that is like it's like this peaks spring break fever. Like it's just woo.
He's practically frothing at the mouth for this.
Yeah, God. And so we got hillbilly, and then we have jock dude.
Douche, you mean?
Yeah, like right off the bat, we get all of our typical horror movie stereotypes.
Yeah, immediately. There's like no time wasted. And these guys are bros, even though they come from extremely different sides of the spectrum.
I thought that the jock looked like Marky Mark, but Adam said he doesn't.
He looked like a retarded Ryan Reynolds to me.
Yeah, I'll buy that. But the hillbilly the hillbilly that rips open his shirt and the dude's like, "Hey bro, no one wants to see your gross ass titties." And the hillbilly like whispers to the dude, even though no one's around. He whispers to the jock. He's like, "Hey, I'm just trying to get things started to see if what's her name will pull her shirt off."
No, he says Tiggos. Allie, I want to see Allie's Tiggos.
Tiggos.
I checked that.
I'm glad you did.
So I'm gonna keep calling him that.
I forgot.
Tiggos.
But it fucking works. Like the chick, they cut to her. She's God knows where because there's no perspective. And she pulls up her shirt, but she's wearing a bra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the movie went out of its way to give us boobs right off the bat, and then they never do again.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, look at this blue bra." And then here's probably one of my favorite things that happened during the movie. The smart girl, or I don't even know what you'd call her. She's not the dumb girl.
We called her
The girl?
Last Girl.
Last girl?
Because
she's gonna be the final girl.
Yeah, she, like any other horror movie, has to have a last girl, even though that's not really the case here. But she fit the profile.
The blonde one delivers one of my favorite lines, and she says, "Pull your shirt down. It's Thanksgiving, not Titsgiving."
Because she has dignity.
This has got to get some sort of award for writing, right?
When I become president, Titsgiving is going to be an actual holiday.
So then, so we've got 4 so far. We've got the dumb girl, we've got the last girl, we've got jock guy, and we've got hillbilly.
I stereotyped him as a slut, jock, last girl, and party guy.
Party guy.
I had Johnny as douche.
Wait, you didn't call the hillbilly? You called him party guy?
Yeah, he's the party guy.
As they're driving away from this college, he even goes, "Party!"
No, he goes, "Thanksgiving break!" But here's where, okay, so we've got our 4 stereotypes covered. The next one we need to fill, our quotient, is the nerd. And the nerd runs up and is like, hey guys, it's me, the nerd. And like the jock guy, he's a little bit like, I don't know about this, but the hillbilly's like, hey dude, he's cool, he's with me, which makes no sense.
The turkey was talking in the first part of this movie.
and then like they're walking around, and the fat guy was like, he's my buddy, completely ignores him, and the jock it seems like he's hitting on him. He's like, check out my muscles.
Yeah, there's that weird like dude crush where he's like, yeah, I know all about your football scores and stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, check out my bicep. Do you want to touch it? Like, I can't tell you how many times I have like met somebody and they were like, touch a part of my body, new dude.
That's what I do instead of handshakes these days.
Adam just flexes.
You have people feel your bicep?
Yeah, that's how I go to all my interviews now.
Do you have a job?
No.
I think we may have found the weak part of your plan.
Well, and then the jock guy goes for like a high five or something with the nerd guy, and he is so completely socially inept that he cannot high five.
Yeah, he like this is an alien concept to him. He's just like, duh. And so
Excuse me,
then,
he has Asperger's.
Yeah, this guy has Asperger's.
That's not funny.
We all finally get into the Jeep, and again, the cry rings out from the hillbilly. He's like, Thanksgiving break! And they drive
another
off,
shirt.
and it's glorious. Then it cuts, like, it's an incredibly jagged cut from that to a Ted Nugent lookalike and his dog.
Yeah.
And his dog like Flashy or something?
Yeah,
Flashy?
Flashy.
It changes.
It's
changes? Flashy, flashy, cashy. It's
Well, they actually list it in the credits.
Oh, well.
Of course, that dog would sue if he didn't get his due. God, so like, you know, this is a wordless scene. It's just Ted Nugent, and he's out in the woods, and his dog runs off. He's like, hey, Flashy, don't go too far. Dinner will be soon. And then he says something like really, like,
depressing,
self-deprecating. He's like, I'm just a lonely old hobo. And he walks into his shack.
To no one in particular.
Yeah.
I was identifying with that a lot, you know.
Did you?
Yeah, it's just
Andrew really felt for that hillbilly.
I know, and his beard was just he had no one there to trim it. It's just sad, really.
No one to share Thanksgiving break.
He's living in this pine box out in the middle of the woods. I'm just a lonely old hobo.
There's just a bunch of shit in there. There's not a kitchen. It's just shit.
Yeah, like, what are you fixing for dinner? You don't have electricity or a fire or anything. Like, what the fuck?
He's making a poop steak.
Raw possum again.
So then after that weird scene's over, we cut back to the Jeep, and the nerd like wants to get everybody going on this. He's like, since it's Thanksgiving, what is everybody thankful for? And Hillbilly chimes in right away, and he's like, I'm thankful for your mom's juicy poon.
Juicy.
Like, and they were friends.
Well, maybe he's actually been having sex with the nerd's mom, and that's why he was his friend in the first place, is to get in on the juicy poo.
Yeah, he's with me.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Kind of like a stepdad, thing going on there.
Yeah, and then like the dude, the jock guy has a weird flashback.
Yeah, like a sepia dad flashback.
It was so weird.
Well, here's the thing
the
about
same age.
Yeah, that's the thing. Here's the two things that are wrong with that flashback. He flashes back to when he's the same age, and it's a flashback that's supposed to involve his dad, but his dad's
a football.
absent. Yeah, not there. We can assume that he threw the football, and like they were like joking around or whatever, hanging out in the front yard, and they're like, and he's like, "Oh, thanks, Dad," but he's no younger than he is presently.
All those 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's like me and my dad had a falling out 6, maybe 7 days ago.
Like 2 hours ago.
I remember we were throwing the football around. I was wearing the same clothes I was today.
Man, they definitely shot that movie in one day.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we've got 8 hours to make 66 minutes worth of movie and go.
And every single bit of dialogue in this movie is so bad.
Well, and then, like, right, everybody's like, oh, I'm thankful for this, thankful for this. And nerd automatically goes to, hey guys, since it's Thanksgiving break, I'm gonna go buck wild. I'm gonna ghost ride the whip. Woo! I'm gonna
Man.
have sex with somebody in this car.
Yeah,
He makes some pretty hefty claims as far as I can tell. Like, he's gonna go crazy on this, like, Thanksgiving break's like, what, a 2-day off-school holiday?
it's basically an extended weekend.
Yeah, like a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, so he's gonna go crazy. He's gonna fuck
It's
someone
not
in
going
that
to be
car.
just him in his hand.
Yeah, he's not just gonna be beating off anymore.
Well, and then immediately the hillbilly goes, "Oh, you can have sex with Allie. She's a skanky hoe."
No, yeah,
No,
the
no.
slutty girl.
She says, "Not me. I'm a prude," and that's when Hillbilly's
Oh.
like, "No, you're a total slut."
You'll do it.
At least they're
I
honest.
cared so little about this movie, I didn't even commit any of the characters' names to memory.
Yeah, I didn't really either. But here's where comes in a really hilarious and appropriate topical joke. The smart girl says to the slut, she says, "You're such a slut. Your legs are harder to close than the Jean-Benet Ramsey case."
And they say this like 80 times during the movie.
Yeah, that
80.
is the running gag of this movie, like a super inappropriate child murder joke.
They
And it
all
wasn't.
laughed
Was it
too.
even topical at the time?
No.
In 2009? I don't think so.
I don't even remember when that happened.
That happened when I was a kid, so no.
Yeah, like it was just like digging up something from the past that's like super creepy and hurtful.
Yeah.
It was
Gobble
very,
gobble, motherfucker.
Oh, it's so upsetting.
They're not holding anything back.
No, they are going balls out.
So controversial.
That
I
happened,
also hate Christopher Reeve and his stupid horse accident.
that happened 13 years before this movie was made, so
Topical.
yeah.
Very topical. I think they're going to probably talk about the Hindenburg crashing later,
The Holocaust.
or like Lindbergh's baby. Something like that has got to come up later. But
Casey Anthony.
you know, after we had that awesome back and forth in the car, we cut back to Ted Nugent, who now it's like it was stark daylight before, but now it is completely like it's night. It's pitch black outside. But his dog like died a long time ago, but he hears his dog yelp.
I never thought about that.
I think this is when his dog
No,
dies,
this is when the dog unearths the turkey.
Because this is when I first started realizing that this movie's favorite camera angle is to zoom in about 2 inches from a person's face while they're talking. And this is where it starts, is the adventures of Close-Up Collie.
Oh yeah, because the dog. Yeah, because he's calling the dog, and Flashy pisses on a brand new totem pole.
Yeah,
From
it
a
looks
gas
like something
station.
from a stupid gas station souvenir
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, they stopped at like the old miner's shack, gas station, and gift shop to pick up like this. It looked like it was made by, I don't know, someone in like a second grade class. Like they painted it, and
It probably was.
yeah,
That sounds like it fits the budget.
So they threw. So the dog pisses on this thing. Like there's tons of pissable trees in this forest, but it decides to piss on this 6-inch tall totem pole.
The dog's got, at least it has standards, okay?
What are the standards?
He knew it was tacky.
Indian, artifacts.
Must be hard for him to take a piss.
Yeah,
he's-
he has to find something like that every time.
Not in the petroglyphs.
All right, so as he's pissing on, apparently this turkey's curse is activated by dog piss, because as he's pissing on this thing, the turkey pops out and bam, kills the dog.
Yep.
So
Did he pull out an axe?
I'm pretty
I
sure
think he had
an
the
axe.
axe there.
it was
Okay.
either the axe or he did it like with his beak, I'm almost certain.
Okay.
Like
That's
he
how
pecks
you would
him.
think a turkey would kill someone.
Yeah, like since they don't have thumbs and their only weapon is their beak, that's what I would have assumed like this whole movie to have. But no.
Pull an axe out of my ass.
Yeah, he's like, check this out. And it's a different axe every time, by the way.
Of
It's not
course.
like he's keeping the same old one. Like one time it's
That's-
a fire axe.
That's the least of this movie's problems.
Yeah. So, bam. Flashy is no longer alive. He is dead. Cut to...
Flashy.
Yeah, Flashy is the dog. So, we cut to a kitchen where there's a semi-retarded guy wearing a cowboy hat and a plastic sheriff badge on it.
He's not
Yeah.
a sheriff.
Yeah, this guy is like 12 shades of crazy. Like he just escaped from a mental institution or something. And
Yeah.
this, I feel like this really sets up like the rest of the expectations for the movie, like the crisp writing style.
It's a metaphor for the rest of it.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Why does this taste like shit?
Yeah, he's drinking coffee. He says, "Ooh, this coffee!" Like he's got the craziest voice too. He's like, "Ooh, this coffee tastes like shit."
Did you take a shit in this?
And so
He's straight out of Andy Griffith.
yeah,
And then his wife immediately, after he said, "Did you take a shit in this?" She goes, "Yes, I did."
And she shows us.
and she shows the pot with this big log in the bottom, and she's like, "I want a divorce." And his reaction is priceless as she's like storming out, and he's like wiping the shit off of his face. He's like, "Oh, okay."
This cop is the most cavalier guy I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's so casual.
You can tell he's a cop because he has a hat and a badge on.
Yeah,
That's the giveaway.
he got that badge out of a 50-cent machine at Walmart.
Definitely.
I was like, gung ho, got some double-sided sticky tape.
It's fake
Blank.
mustache as well.
Yeah, that mustache was ridiculously fake.
Yeah, God, man, like, they must have spent like 3 seconds on his costume, and they're like, "Do you know how to sound Southern?" And he's like, "I think so." And I'm like, "Good, roll."
I think that was his real
That's all we
voice.
need.
Sad enough.
And so, after we get the shit coffee, it's it's terrible. So he is actually the father of Last Girl or Blonde Girl or whoever, not the slut.
Her name's Kristen, okay?
Kristen.
Whatever.
She has a name.
Kristen the Nut Slut.
But it doesn't matter.
She's averagely, she's pretty cute. She's the normal girl.
Yeah, as far as this movie goes, she is the normal girl.
Yeah.
So, she's calls her dad, and there's this like weird back and forth where
You can't do no tossing.
yeah, like you can't like they're talking about drinking beer and driving and like tossing like a salad. What the fuck was
In
that?
the car, I guess?
No, because he said, he's like, "Yo, Allie, toss me a beer." And then the other guy goes,
That's it.
"Did I hear some tossing? Girl, you can't do no tossing. Tossing's illegal. You can't do it."
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
He's not worried about his daughter drinking behind the wheel. He's worried about people tossing things to each other in
Just
cars.
tossing in general.
That is dangerous.
Yeah, tossing is illegal in wherever the fuck we are.
I mean, once you start flinging beer cans around the car, where's the line drawn?
God damn it. So, that great back and forth comes to an end, but the Jeep overheats, and
Do they even say it overheats? They just say, "Oh, we're having car
They
problems."
say the car is broken.
well,
The
no,
smoke
when they
machine in the guitar, or in the car.
in the guitar.
the jock pops the hood and he's like, "Yep, looks like we overheated." And the stupid girl, god damn this stupid girl, she's like,
Yeah.
"Do you think it's a flat tire?"
Yes, I do.
God damn it, like.
Yeah, Allie.
Yeah, Allie. They're like, then they just like let her have it. They're like, "Good job," like thumbs up.
Yeah.
Fucking you sussed it out.
And then they're like, "We better find a. Well, we may as well just camp here and party all night."
Yeah.
Oh,
They're like, "Hey, since we already have our camping gear, what?"
Since we decided to camp on Thanksgiving break,
They weren't even going anywhere to camp. Why did they have camping gear?
No, they're all going home to see their family. They're like, "Since we all got our camping gear, it's time to drunk camp."
What's some well-prepared
course.
college kids?
Yeah, like these, like they're insanely stupid, but they're ready for anything.
and then they show us stock footage of the moon.
Oh, wow.
I
Listen,
love that.
the moon is very particular about who shoots it and who doesn't, so they probably had to play out the ass for that stock footage.
Well, really? I mean, they couldn't have gotten footage of the moon themselves.
Well,
Yeah.
it's at the very least.
Actually, if you need a special camera to get the moon, because it just looks like a flashlight with a regular camera.
How dare you correct me on my own show?
I'm sorry, I did that. I did that last week, actually. I was like, man, that just looks fake.
Well, at the very least, they got stock footage instead of like during Werewolf when they shot a picture of the moon. Like they were rolling film on a postcard in that movie. But, okay, so they're off to like go get drunk in the woods. And even though they're walking into the woods, no one's carrying camping equipment. Did anyone remember that?
No.
They already put it there.
Oh, okay, yeah. When they stopped, it all flew off and set itself up.
Of course, the world of Thanksgiving.
But then the nerd finds this really very new sign on the ground that says Crawberg.
Crawberg.
Pushes his glasses back up.
Yeah, and he has to read it like he's learning how to read for the first time, like he's still hooked on phonics. Crawberg. And he's like, "Holy shit!" And so He's like, guys, check out this sign. Now it's time for a shitty cartoon montage.
Here's the Legend of Kronberg, and I expected like some Western music to start up, like.
No, not even. It's like a crappy like Flash animation. Like he must have like been trolling Newgrounds, found something vaguely Thanksgiving related, and like, can I use this? And that was that.
Well, he found a Flash artist with no dignity.
Yeah, lots of time.
And no talent.
Yikes.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason this movie has even that Indian background thing is because like someone's child had that totem pole.
We're using
like,
it.
At this, yeah.
Free production value.
That's like before the rewrite, it was completely like no Indian influence whatsoever. But they're like, hey, why don't we use this?
Well, I guess we have to now. Jeez.
Days and days worth of rewrites.
Yeah, this movie just seems like like we had this stuff, we're gonna use it. Like you don't have a choice.
It's like they cleaned out a garage sale.
I found a Super 8 camera.
Yeah, they went prop hunting first and then wrote the script.
There you go. Yeah,
That kind of makes
definitely.
sense.
So, and the curse is the dumbest curse ever. Like,
Yeah.
even as far as like piss poor Egyptian curses that you hear, where it's like, oh, you know, like sand fleas in your pubes. This is worse. The Indian curse was like the white guys fucked over the Indians, as we all know, and so the Indians summoned this totem spirit of the turkey that will kill not just some white people, not just the white people related to the ones originally there, but all white people.
All
Well,
you
no-
whiteys.
And here's where I get confused. It's like, turkey comes out every 505 years. It's like, why so specific?
505 years!
And
They
what-
already broke their own logic because the turkey was already walking the earth, and then he's like, "It's 5 minutes till it's gonna be 505 years."
Exactly.
They did break that premise, because he's been walking around for a solid maybe hour and a half killing a dog already.
He ate Blashy. Blashy was gone.
Immediately after that, he's like, oh, and this was the pilgrim's name. Oh, I guess he's related to you, Hick.
For no reason.
I like how they drop a word that seems to be ubiquitous in this universe, like cryptozoologist. They drop turkeyologists.
That's what I'm getting my degree in now.
There are
Turkeyology.
books in this
That's money in the
universe.
bag.
Like not one, but several books, plural, written by turkeyologists,
Yes.
plural.
Around the world.
Yeah. Turkeyologists around the world have studied this legend, this curse, for at least 505 years, right?
It's like, and most turkeyologists agree, like,
All two of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all three turkeyologists.
Okay, so then, after the legend, here's where we cut back to Ted Nugent trying to find his dog. And now I got a little confused. Now it's dark, whereas before it was light, and the dog obviously died several hours ago, and we still hear the yelp.
Yeah.
I got a little turned around on that. But now,
I did not notice that.
yeah, the dog has been dead for at least the time it takes for the sun to go down, and he's like, Flashy! And he's like, yikes! And he's like, what the fuck? And so he grabs his shotgun, and he's gonna go find Flashy, you know?
Of course.
Flashy?
Yeah, Flashy the dog.
You mean Blashy?
Cashy?
Flashy?
He goes to
Lassie.
find Cashy Goleen, his dog. But here's what
Airbud.
sets up the precedent for the rest of the movie, that no one can be caught off guard by anything. Because Ted Nugent stumbles upon this scene of his dead dog and the turkey who's just been hanging around for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And he is not surprised at all that this turkey can talk.
No,
No.
not at all.
You killed my Blashy!
He's like, what happened to my dog? And the turkey goes, he had an accident.
Yeah.
Ah.
The puns, I love it. He says a bad joke. The turkey like gets away because God knows if the movie ended there, we'd all been happy. But
Well, then doesn't the hick make some sort of remark that the turkey killed his wife or something?
Something like that.
Oh,
He's
he
like,
did.
first my wife, and now my dog. And like, what happened to your wife that was turkey related?
I think maybe that was probably just a hunting accident. Like
Maybe
they
she
were out,
choked on a turkey bone?
maybe they were just out like hunting for turkey, and like she decided to wear like a really feathery hat, and he blasted her.
Oh, so it really is Ted Nugent.
Yeah. He does an unbilled cameo. But then he goes super nuts and does that thing where he falls to his knees and screams to the heavens over his dead dog.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Damn you, turkey.
Oh. Now we cut back to the kids and everybody's drunk. But Sheriff Dumbass's daughter has to put in a call because she told him, she would. So,
Yeah.
like,
they used your
She's
favorite.
responsible.
They used your favorite plot device, David.
Yeah. The fucking, oh, my cell phone doesn't work here. At least, at the very least, when in most movies are like, oh, my cell phone doesn't work, and they just like clamp it closed and you never see it again.
Yeah, they immediately throw it into the woods.
Yeah.
Curses.
She's like, no service, better walk 4 feet this way, up, full bars.
Of course.
So it
All right,
was a classic twist on an old thing, And I forget what they say here. It's pretty, like, there's no point in even going over it because they just have, like, this gay conversation. I'm like, bye. And this is when the turkey... Oh, no, I think they talk about the turkey legend or some shit. It doesn't matter.
Well, they're all like so scared of the turkey. They're all like,
Yeah, everyone was very shaken up by this stupid legend.
Well, no, not everyone. Like, everyone was, like,
No, they
totally
think it's
cool
dumb.
with it. But Jock was super afraid, and he's like, hey, guys, shut up, you're scaring the girls. And I'm like, no, he's not. Like, you'd have to be a pussy to be afraid.
I think he's just trying to get with her.
Yeah, he's like, you don't have to lie to me. But, like, the only one who was afraid was Jock.
then she goes out in the woods. She calls her dad, and he's like, where have you been?
Yeah, but when they, So, after she hangs up with the dude, the sheriff, then she sees the turkey, and they have, like, a witty rejoinder back and forth.
Yeah.
But she's still not caught off guard by, like, this turkey talking.
No one is.
They
Well,
just
no.
have, like, this, whoa, you're a turkey, and you're, like, that's you? And he's like, yep, see ya, and he jets into the woods.
Well, I imagine like he made a bad pun, and she starts screaming, and for a minute there, it looked like he was in pain, and he's like, oh no, this is my only weakness, and he runs off, but it never comes up again.
Yeah. Like, he's really irritated by women screaming, but...
He's in the wrong line of work.
Yeah, well, since no one is caught off guard by this turkey, no one ever screams except for that first time.
Yeah, it's the first time.
He should have just killed him there, but I guess he's got to break him down psychologically.
Yeah,
This
Yeah.
turkey's motives confuse me.
he's a thorough and organized killer.
He's cold and calculated.
And then she's like, oh no, turkey's gone. She runs back to the campfire and goes, guys, I saw the killer turkey. And she's obviously shaken up. The jock stands up, looks around, and goes, there's no turkeys here.
It's like he's trying to cross the street or something. He looks 2 ways. He's like, well, not here.
May as well go to sleep.
But everyone at the camp does not believe her to an insane degree. Like, they're not only like, I don't believe you. They're like, you're a fucking liar. Like, they're like, no, you are making this shit up. You better knock that shit off or we're going to leave you in the woods for dead. Now, good night. And, like, they go to
You
bed.
knock it off.
Yeah.
Don't you tell lies in this campfire.
You son of a bitch. I won't have this about this turkey. And, like, they're choking her or whatever.
Shaking her violently.
Yeah, like, they don't believe her to an insane degree.
After they were all afraid.
She's pooped her pants. It's running down her legs. She's crying, and they're like, hey.
You knock this shit off.
Yeah.
You clean this shit up off right now.
Like, then, after all that, like, not believing her and, like, the accusations, the body of a bunny flies out of the
screams.
darkness and lands in their campfire.
Is that a bunny?
Yeah, and they're like, they just love to do that. Like, bunnies love fire. They're like moths.
Rabbits do this all the time.
Yeah, but
Depressed rabbits are known for this.
it was a suicidal bunny.
Yeah.
But, after they're like, oh, well, he probably just wanted to die. Like, Nerd goes in for a closer look, and this is one of his areas of competence, which is the only one.
He's an amateur turkeyologist.
Yeah. He is able to determine that this bunny has been killed by a turkey, and then they all say, let's forget about it, time to go to sleep.
Almost verbatim.
Yeah.
Well, the only guy that points out that it's not good to go to sleep is the hick. He's like, oh no, if she saw a turkey and the rabbit was killed by a turkey, maybe we shouldn't go to sleep. And then he lies down and goes to sleep.
Yeah. He says, maybe there's something to this myth after all. And they're like, oh, well, see you in the morning. And, like, I don't get this. Like, everyone sleeps in a tent but Fat Hillbilly.
Yeah.
Like,
He smells.
well, so, the morning, sun rises, Hillbilly is sleeping, but Ted Nugent is watching over him like this disheveled guardian angel.
Oh, yeah.
He's your guardian hillbilly.
But this doesn't catch Hillbilly off guard. He's like, huh? Who are you? And he's like, I was watching out for you. That turkey came over
he
here.
does say, he's like, I'm your guardian angel.
Yeah. He says, you better, like, that turkey, even though he's been watching out and, like, made sure the turkey didn't kill him, that turkey got close enough to shit on
Yeah.
Fat Hillbilly's chest.
Again, psychological.
And it looks like the turkey came up and dumped like a tin of cocktail weenies on the guy's chest.
I almost thought they were cranberries, like trying to keep with the...
I thought they were
They're no
sausages.
Well, either way, like, there's shit on his chest, and, like, I like how this is where Ted Nugent draws the line. He says, I'll protect you from the turkey, but I'm not going to knock that shit off your chest. So, you know, it's 6 and 1, half dozen the other.
He's a hillbilly with principles.
Well,
Just like his dog.
everybody else comes out of the tents, and Jock runs up. He's like, hey, get out of here. And the guy's like, oh, you better watch out for that killer turkey. And even though everybody last night is freaking out about killer turkeys, they're like, you believe in killer turkeys? You are a freak. You leave us alone.
Yeah, they're very in this guy's face, even though he's brandishing a double-barrel shotgun, and they just found him, like, lying in wait over Fat Hillbilly.
Nobody is shaken up at all by this guy with a shotgun watching them while they sleep.
No, they're just like, hey, you weirdo, you better get out of here before we beat you up. And he's like, okay, see ya.
I'm on the football team, okay?
Yeah.
The Tridents.
I am the, what was he, like the second string quarterback?
Second,
like
yeah,
that.
for the Tridents, yeah.
So, oh God, so he wanders off into the woods. Cut to, now we've got this, like, Oldsmobile Cutlass or whatever rolling down the road.
Oh, God.
And the song that's playing, I found it to be, like, as far as I was concerned, the music that's playing is a guy who actually, like, a 1920s artist who sang Dum Dum Dora. I just thought that was kind of a funny little
Public
inside
domain,
thing.
that's why that's in there, obviously.
Yeah, like, he must have been big into the 20s, because I was like, yes, this is cool. But
It gets
the
dark.
turkey's, like, trying to thumb down a ride.
Yeah, the turkey is hitchhiking.
Yep, of course.
The turkey can't, like, you know, because the average, stride of a turkey is, 4 to 6 inches?
Yeah.
Well, that isn't even the most ridiculous part.
No, that's not at all. The guy who pulls over to give the turkey a ride opens the door, does that, like, weird lean over and throws the door open. He says, and he doesn't even look like he would do this. He's just like a normal dude wearing glasses.
He looks kind of creepy to me.
He did look a little creepy, but not, like, to the degree that that warranted his next line.
Oh, God.
He throws the door open and says, ass, gas, or grass, nobody rides for free.
And he's going to have sex with this turkey. He is. And the turkey goes, well, I guess it's ass.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have any money. God.
But why? Like, he pulls over.
He's gonna do it. That guy was gonna do it.
He's gonna have sex with this turkey.
Yeah, he was going nuts. Like, he could not get his belt unbuckled fast enough.
His
And,
tongue
like,
was going all around his mouth.
The turkey positions its ass to such a way that it's like getting ready to get fucked by this guy.
When I was watching it for the first time, I could not believe... I didn't even notice what was happening. I was wondering what that guy was doing, because I didn't think they'd actually go there.
I think you were in shock.
I
Yeah.
didn't believe it either. Like, I thought, no, they're not going to film this guy fucking a turkey puppet.
What's happening? Where am I?
Well, they didn't, because it's not for him. That ass is not for him.
Yeah, the turkey is saving himself.
Everyone's got principles in this movie.
But then the turkey pulls like a freaking Saturday Night Special.
Yeah, the turkey has a gun.
Yep.
The
Out of
turkey
his ass.
has a gun, like a handgun. It has a pistol.
And it was a shotgun.
Was it a shotgun?
It was a shotgun.
Oh, I could have swore. Well, either way.
Or something with a big
Regardless.
barrel.
Yeah, so the turkey's like, what is it? Like, do you have a family?
Yeah, call her. You call your daughter.
Call your daughter. And so the dude's like, hey, honey, it's me, your dad. And he's like saying all this weird shit.
Daddy, I'm gonna be real here soon.
Like, is the daughter at home? Like, first of all, I want to know how old the daughter is and why she's not freaked out that her dad's like crying. But you know what? He's like, happy Thanksgiving, dear. And bam, turkey blows his head clean off.
That guy got turkey jacked.
Yeah.
That, that sheep was like, what?
Yeah.
The sheep are pretending like nothing's going on. It's none of our business, Steve.
Yeah.
Go back to eating, go back.
So that's one sexual deviant off the road. So at least the turkey is like, so far, the turkey has one strike in the like the plus column.
Yeah, he's cleaning up the streets.
So
Yeah, he gotta creep off the streets.
yeah, turkey fucker, no longer on the roster.
Turkey fucker extraordinaire.
So I don't know if this is any. Well, anyway, so they go to drop the slut off, and
Allie.
Yeah, they
And
dropped
Adam
Allie.
noticed something odd about this.
What's that?
Well, they've changed Jeeps.
It's a different Jeep. The seats
Seriously?
are different.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, this new Jeep has a door on the back, like where the tire is.
I
Whereas the
didn't
last one
even
didn't.
realize that.
They fooled me.
Like, apparently this movie took 2 days to shoot, and the Jeep rental was only for 1 day, so they had to go get another one.
And they're like, oh, sorry, this one's already been promised to somebody else, so you're going to have to go with this, whatever. So, but this
Of
is,
course.
as they're dropping off Slut, they drop the JonBenet Ramsey joke again.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
second time.
Like, verbatim, the same chick says it, your legs are harder than clothes in the JonBenet Ramsey case, and everyone's like, oh, snap, like, and they do that,
They
like,
laugh like they never heard it.
yeah, they chortle, and they're doing that thing, like, that, I don't know how to say this, but, like, when you tell somebody a funny joke, and they, like, grab their shirt and, like, put a fist to their face, like they're gonna fucking fall over.
Oh. He's like, God damn! That was a good one.
Well, I was in the kitchen during this scene, and I heard the hick hollering, so I figured that maybe the chick had turned around and showed her boobs, so I rewound it, and I was so disappointed.
And he sprinted back into the room.
What?
But now, let me get your guys', as this may have passed without being noticed by anyone but me, but when the chick, I think, oh yeah, when they finally drop what's her name off with her dad, the sheriff, they have that like, oh hey dad, blah blah blah, and then there's like this weird little awkward silence, and then they put a fart noise in there.
Yeah, the dad's farting.
Yeah.
I did not notice
But
it.
that's the thing. They added it afterwards because no one reacts to it. It's not like the dad's like, oh, pardon me, or the daughter's like, ew. It's like, okay, we've got like 4 seconds of silence. How can we fill it?
We can't have dead air.
But we don't want to waste an opportunity for a
They're breaking
hilarious
the
joke.
tension.
So,
So it's a film trick.
yeah, it's like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
You
God.
gotta do it right here. Okay. Golden.
It makes sense that they weren't fazed by it, because, I mean, come on, look at the rest of the movie.
Well, and then
Yeah.
we finally, after all this farting and dropping people off, which takes, 5 minutes,
Yeah.
we get to the jock's house, which they've chosen to light with table lamps. And that's it.
I don't get what's going on here. Like, the jock comes home and, the dad hates his son for being second string even though he broke his leg?
They have the
Yeah.
most shallow father-son relationship I've ever seen.
Completely.
And you
Dad's
see
a
the dad,
dick.
and he looks nice enough, but he's reading the paper, and it looks like he's reading his lines off of something in the paper.
Yeah, like he's scanning quickly back and forth.
You're breaking it for me. Oh no.
So, like, he goes to his mom and he's like, how's dad? And he's like, oh, he's better. What the fuck? And he goes up to the dad reading the paper, goes like, hey dad. And the dad looks at him, folds his newspaper, and walks right the fuck out of the room.
You are a second string quarterback, and I will have nothing to do with that.
I have no son.
Yeah.
I didn't send you to community college to be a second string quarterback.
He, like, rips his pocket open and he screams to the heaven, like, why? My son is a failure.
Flashy.
Couldn't I have been given a daughter?
But, the dumb guy goes to, like, sit with his dad out in the rocking swing on the porch, and even though this could have been on way earlier, he just fabricates a little lie that fixes the whole problem.
Yeah. He's like, hey dad, I'm actually first string now. And his dad goes, I love you so much,
Fixes
son.
everything.
Yeah, he says, oh my God,
You're the
son,
best.
you're just like your old man, a total douche, and they hug. And
At least my wife's hot.
But, this newfound camaraderie with his father does not last long because
Uh-oh.
turkey killing.
Yeah. It's pretty gruesome. I didn't expect it to be that, I was kind of, shocked.
Yeah, it was a little fucked up because, like, he kills the mom and then he, like, cuts the dad's head off and then says to the kid, he's like, go long, and throws his dad's head at him.
Oh, yeah.
And
that
then
was so fucked up.
I have this in quotes here, so it must be actually from the movie. It says, why, God, why?
Well, it's that game of father-son catch that they never had.
Yeah, they've mended their fences, and he now gets to throw the old head skin around with his father.
Oh,
Of
yeah,
his father.
after both his parents are dead, he just goes, "Oh, why, God?" Like the lamest cry ever.
Yeah, and that's all that gets a response out of him. He's no longer sad. Like, as soon as he's like, oh, well, he, like, drops the head and it's over with.
Yeah, as soon as he meets up with his buddies again, he's totally fine.
He's like, Turkey done killed my parents.
That shit happens.
Check this part out. Next, we cut to Slut's house, and Slut is alone in the house, and there's a new dude.
Yeah, the half hour that she's been dropped off, she found some random dude.
Yeah, to
In
plow.
her house.
And he's a little wary because, he's in her house and they're about to screw on Thanksgiving, but she's like, don't worry about it. My parents are busy.
No, he said, what did she say? She says that it's okay. It's okay with them.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Because they know
have
she's
their
a
consent.
Slut.
They know me. They know I fuck random
They know how I do.
Well, and then the turkey sees them
I'm doing me.
and breaks the fourth wall.
Well, no. Before, you're missing a huge plot point here because the turkey comes in and sees them fucking totally clothed.
Yeah.
The dude's pants are on, his shirt's on, the girl's wearing a dress. Like the back of her dress is covering where her vagina would be accessible.
It's all going through a hole specially made for dick to pussy actions.
It's a religious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, do they just cut a small hole through like the dude's pants and her dress?
Obviously. Because,
Oh.
I mean, they were having sex. They were having sex.
They were just dry humping, Dave. It's all right.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's all they were doing was dry humping, because they did not remove one article of clothing. Like, she didn't even remove the scrunchie from her hair. So,
What a
whatever.
bitch.
So, Turkey comes in, he's like, all right, I gotta get on this. Snaps the random dude's neck.
And this
Oh, yeah.
random John puts up no fight at all.
Nope. Just
No, it's just, there's a turkey, he's like, what the fuck? And then it's just snap. And so then, like, the turkey starts nailing the slut.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. With some
starts-
chocolate syrup on her back.
And it's so, was it,
Very disturbing.
yeah, it was very disturbing because she's getting nailed by the turkey and it's obviously a completely different voice now because whereas the one guy who was plowing before, making no noise, this turkey is going crazy.
Arf, arf,
It's like, arf, this is great. Ah! It does that like that porno orgasm thing.
Of course, yeah, because everyone orgasms like that.
And this is when the chick finally like realizes what's going on and looks back because the turkey says, "You got stuffed."
yeah.
He says, "You got
I
stuffed."
swear to God, I've seen a porno where someone said that.
They use pretty much every Thanksgiving pun that they could have thought of in this movie.
Ever.
Yeah, oh god, they're like, okay, Thanksgiving puns, go, buying props, next.
Just keep them coming, keep them coming.
So, she got stuffed, he goes down, and you see like these feathers go over her face, and he snaps her neck.
Yep, just because.
Fuck him and hit and quit it,
Yeah, but like, he snaps her neck with feathers! Like, his wings have enough strength, like, to snap her neck!
Yep.
God.
He was talking earlier, too.
Well, now, like, everyone's finally on board with the idea that this turkey is killing people because they've witnessed it,
Yeah.
and everyone shows back up at Slut's house, and, like, they're knocking on the door, no answer, and this is when the nerd fucks up the already very well-established John Benet Ramsey joke. Like,
Yep,
they're
again.
waiting outside her door, and somebody's like, oh, she's probably fucking someone, and the nerd is like, yeah, her legs are harder to close than John Benet Ramsey's.
At least no one laughed that time.
Ramsey's case, not John Benet Ramsey's
Yeah.
legs.
As if that joke could not, like, lose any more class. The nerd, like, pulls the final straw out, and he's like, hey, what about sex with a dead child?
John Bonet? Anyone?
Sound good?
So, the jock, like, breaks in, he comes back out, and he's like, we're too late. I found these. And he holds up some feathers and an extra small gravy-flavored condom.
Gravy
Because
flavored condom.
he had that on him.
But
Just in case.
This turkey has presumably been under this totem pole for 505 years, but not only did he have the time to go to a specialty shop to get extra small condoms, he found the Thanksgiving-themed ones.
Yeah.
And then, like, they should be more upset to be, like, none of them are upset that she's dead. They're just like, oh no,
Like,
turkeys.
Oh, slut's dead.
And then they're like, oh man, we need to find books about killer turkeys.
Well,
Let's go to the library.
I love their reasoning on this. is they come to the conclusion that the sheriff has a large collection of books, so large, in fact, that it must have something on killer turkeys.
Yeah, because everybody knows that the library is going to be closed on Thanksgiving night, and it's like midnight.
These people have never heard of the internet, obviously.
No. They say, the answer is in a book. My dad's got a lot of books. Let's go check it out. But
The syllogism method of reasoning. My dad has a lot of books. There's books about turkeys. My dad has books about turkeys.
Can we just, I just want to say one more thing. Like, the turkey was obviously going to kill that girl from word go. Why the condom? Anyone? Just asking.
He doesn't want to catch something.
Yeah, no herpes.
Did he even use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was open and there was like gravy on the package.
Well, pregnancy is a lot of responsibility, David. You always want to be sure.
He killed her!
When this scene started, I turned to Adam and I said, oh man, I know how this movie's going to end. He's going to get the girl pregnant, and then they're going to kill the turkey, but then an egg's going to pop out of her.
I really did expect that until
That
he
would have
killed
been
her.
more. That would have been more creative.
Well, that is one thing this movie lacked a lot of.
Creativity.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, now they're going to see the sheriff's library in his garage or whatever. But, so we cut to the sheriff's house, and the sheriff is, we've already established he's pretty much an idiot, and no one is caught off guard by this turkey. He hears a knock on the door, opens the door. It is the turkey puppet wearing a fake, like, Groucho glasses and nose combo.
Yeah, he's like, hey, is your daughter home? I'm a friend.
And he's dressed like a turkey.
he just thinks he's a midget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Andrew. The dad is dressed like a turkey for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand it. He gets a letter.
He gets like, was it a phone call or a letter? And then he goes, contest.
Oh, yeah,
And puts on the turkey
I forgot to wear my turkey suit for no good goddamn reason.
Yeah, they're starting to treat this whole thing like Halloween.
Yeah. So the sheriff is duped by what he thinks is a midget.
Mm-hmm.
And this leads to the best part of the movie, hands down. This was the only time I ever got close to cracking a smile, was like the sheriff in the turkey suit and the turkey in the Groucho nose sitting in the kitchen drinking coffee and having small talk.
Talking about the weather.
Allergies.
Waiting for the teens to arrive.
It was so... And, he's asking him what it's like to be a midget and stuff. And I just... it was so... it was such a welcome break from all the monotonous, stupid bullshit. It literally lifted my spirits and helped me get through the rest of this movie.
It was definitely... Yeah, that definitely is one of the better moments. I like when he's... He gets mad because he thinks he can't say fuck.
Yeah.
He gets mad at the turkey can't say fuck. I like that part.
He's like, you can't say fuck. He's like, are you a child or a midget?
He's like, well, I'm 500 years old. And he goes, well, guess you can say it then.
Yeah.
Fuck, guess you can say it.
God damn. So the turkey gets done with waiting. He's like, fuck this. I'm out of here. And this gets me, even though he's like a homicidal turkey put on the planet to kill all white men, he was just going to let the sheriff skate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe because he thought he was a turkey.
Well, he was just going to, maybe.
Yeah.
But he was just going to walk right out the door and look for something else to do. But, he says something finally, like he's the last
It's because he
straw.
calls him a midget again.
Yeah, or
He
He
calls
calls
him
him
like
a
a
duck.
duck.
He calls him a duck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what is that? And he's like, fuck this. And then he kills the sheriff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which leads to the most ridiculous scene in the entire world of movies.
Yeah, I think this is the craziest sequence of film ever to be caught and viewed by human beings. I may have said that before, but this takes the cake because everyone shows up looking for the books, and they open the door, and there's the turkey puppet with wearing the sheriff's face.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, hi, Dad.
Yeah. Everyone is bamboozled.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Mr. Normal Girl's father, and she goes down to kiss him. But you can obviously see where he had to do some alterations to the face because
It's shrunken.
yeah, it's small and there's stitch marks and stuff in it. So not only did he take his face off, he used his seamstress ability.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
He used his seamstress ability that he used earlier on in the Pilgrim Woman on the dude's face and made a really sweet looking mask.
I'm surprised he didn't take it a step farther and stitch himself a small pair of sheriff clothes.
Yeah, like a tiny cowboy hat with a little tiny plastic badge on
Actually,
it.
he did have a little hat on.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a hat on, and she says, you look different. And then she takes his hat off. She says, oh, you got a haircut.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
That's it. Oh my god, that was insane. Yeah, like
That's what. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
it's not that you're a turkey now. It's you got a haircut.
And
Okay, now things make sense.
this is where I start theorizing that these people were dumb before, but this is like leaky chemical plant dumb.
Yeah.
Like
Oh god, and
born
so-
with flippers dumb.
Disturbingly dumb.
And this thing doesn't tip them off either. When they're talking to the sheriff, like the sheriff turkey, they say, "Hey, Dad, we need to look at your books. Can you show us where the garage is?" Where's that again? And like she's like, "Oh, Daddy, you're so silly." And then they all go inside.
Turkey's fast on his feet.
Yeah.
And then montage.
Well, no,
Yeah, a study montage.
before that, like they go into the garage. And the dad turkey is sitting there, and he's like, "What are you kids doing?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. We're just gonna look at your books." And he's like, "Okay, see you later." And like, and that's that.
Yep.
But
He just wanted to know what it felt like to live as a sheriff for a while.
he just wanted to know what it
As
was
a
like
father.
to have kids and have their friends over. And he's like, I'll make some tang.
He was finally starting to feel remorse for all his killing.
So they get to this fabled library, and it's 2 books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is-
it's a box, a couple boxes
Bunch of
of books
boxes.
that look more like Reader's Digest than books.
Yeah, this supposedly huge collection of books her father has, because he looked like such an avid reader, is
Yeah.
just some cardboard box with some loose pamphlets in them.
Yeah, and like there are only 2 real books. The rest are just like papers everywhere. And so they have a montage where everyone gets a look at these 2 books from different angles. From like it's the same goddamn books. Like
They read under the same light bulb.
you can go to a fucking like used bookstore and get a box of books for 50 cents. I don't know why they were like, no, 2 books is enough.
Well, I don't understand the reasoning here. I don't think you need to go through every single book with a fine-tooth comb to find evil turkey stuff.
Yeah,
I
like,
think you could probably look at the title and figure out what the odds are that turkey
Yeah.
stuff is in it.
here's a collection of Hardy Boys. I'll take that. Jock, you take Nancy Drew. Like Hillbilly, you take all the Reader's Digest from 1987 to 1994. And,
I call children's highlights.
Yeah, and I'll take the highlights. God, these guys are stupid. So,
And the entire time they're doing this reading montage, they keep on cutting back to the fat guy who's stuffing his face.
Yeah, books are stupid.
he's either
Because he's fat.
well, he's either stuffing his face, or there's that one part in the montage that's really poignant and kind of touching, where Nerd is trying to teach Fat Guy to read.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot about that.
They're like he's like pointing out the words, and then they do like a big hug when he figures out like a sentence.
Sound
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, fuck, that part was
Those are one of
stupid.
those.
So, after hours of searching, we find the book. Nerd finds the book. And after the first sentence, the book is written in code.
Yeah, mathematical code.
It's the Necronomicon.
It's like the Reader's Digest version of the Necronomicon for turkeys.
Yeah.
Because the book is written just enough in regular English to give them a hint of what's going on, but the rest of it is in some weird mathematical code.
It just looks like algebra.
Yeah, there's nothing special about this book.
And he's like,
It's
it's right
algebra.
up my alley. It's a math code.
I'm really good at math codes. And they're like, oh, thank God we have a nerd on our team.
Cut to the turkey dragging the sheriff's body
Yeah.
through the kitchen, and the fat guy goes, I need more food, guys. Walks out there, and he goes, hey, what are you doing? Like,
Wait, what?
for
what
about
is
2
that?
seconds, he's like, oh, I see you've got a body. That's cool.
Well, because he still thinks that the turkey sheriff is the real sheriff.
Well, and they show the sheriff actor, and they didn't even bother to put makeup on him. They just packed some old marinara sauce on his face.
They squirted him with some old ragu, and they're like, perfect,
It's
roll.
all over, yeah.
God. So, I think this is like where, like, he and the turkey are like having this weird, like, back and forth. Because
Well-
he's like, why do you do this? And the turkey's like, oh, because you guys fucking, like, white people suck. And I think the fat guy makes the point where he's like, you know, or it's either the fat guy or the turkey. Someone says that, like, the casinos and the reservations
douche.
almost made up for it.
Yeah. You guys almost had it.
You almost did it. But, like, he
Yeah.
pulls off the turkey face, and everybody, like, not the turkey face, the dad face, and everybody in the room goes,
Yeah.
It's a big reveal.
It's like some sort of stupid Scooby-Doo episode.
And then the turkey says what we were all thinking. You kids are dumb.
No, he says, you kids are retarded. He says retarded.
He says, and then he says, like, before he runs out, you know, since no one's going to take any action to try and stop him, before he runs out, he drops two terms that I think were probably peculiar being heard back in the 1600s. He says faggot, and he says douchebag.
He also tells them to prepare to be dead.
Yeah. And here I wrote, like, doesn't murder affect anyone?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Because, you know, like the Johnny and the blonde girl have like this weird life speech.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
God.
concerned with themselves
Yeah.
too much to be concerned with anyone else.
No.
Like, my dad died, whatever.
Like
You know, I still got Johnny.
that's water under the bridge. Like, dad's dead. Like, mom's gone after shitting in the coffee.
He was a retard anyways.
Yeah, like, there's nothing that can be saved here.
And they start apologizing to each other. Like they can apologize for demonic turkeys killing them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry about turkeys, Dave.
I feel so responsible.
That turkey killed your family, and you know what? That's my bad, Andy.
That's all right. I'm not affected by
That's
any
on
of
me.
this.
That's on me.
That's on me. So, you know, now we've got a whole book's worth of code that is cracked in 2.5 minutes by Nerd.
Yep.
And the nerd said it was really hard.
Mhm.
He's like, this code was really hard, but I cracked it. So I've cracked the code, translated the entire book, and replaced all the pages with English because they all read from it later. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where they learned that the evil turkey has a talisman, and it's got to be removed. But even then, it's insanely hard to kill.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, who the fuck wrote this book?
It didn't even sound like it was hard to kill him. All it said they had to do was tie him up and burn him at the stake.
I was actually kind of impressed because I paused when he was looking at the Necronomicon, and it actually, the back talks about Thankskilling
Really?
and like what it is. Like they got a makeshift like they made it looks like it's made out of cereal boxes.
Yeah, it does.
And it actually has the whole history on the back of it.
Huh.
Yeah,
So-
I
and
didn't
what
notice it.
it drove me crazy because, like, who wrote this book? First of all, this turkey's been in the ground for 505 years since the first Thanksgiving, but somehow, like, the writer of this book not only wrote the book to help people, but put it in code.
Yeah.
God,
Mathematical code.
We don't want anyone else to know about this.
like,
The Indians use math? Anyways.
And
That's racist.
This is when our
Well,
fat
no,
guy
I
goes,
don't know.
I
I
don't.
really want to know.
I think Andrew may have a point because without written language, how can you do math? If you don't have a numeric system that you can do equations with, I don't think they just said, here's 2 buffalo testicles for a horn and a hoof, you know?
The Reviewniverse asking the tough questions.
like, after they're done translating the book in all of, 30 seconds,
Yeah.
Billy goes, Billy being our fat hick, goes, I don't want any part of this anymore because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And gets out of the car.
Even though he's been eating the whole time they were studying.
And
The big man.
yeah, he's hungry. He's got to find food. He's playing it up really bad. Like he's very lightheaded and he's stumbling around. And so, like, the thing that gets him though is like a ruse from a 1930s Looney Tunes cartoon.
It's a cartoon turkey.
Yeah.
And
It's-
they're playing, like, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah while this magic turkey is floating there.
Yeah, and so this guy must have been skilled in some sort of pantomime school because like it's so real the way he picks up the fake turkey and starts like cramming this thing into his mouth.
The whole
The turkey
thing.
fades into him.
Yeah, it just kind of like whitewashes into his head.
Dave, he's so fat that he doesn't eat anymore. He just absorbs the food.
It just goes into his face. But you
I
know
gotta get
that cartoon turkey was actually our turkey because it bursts out of his stomach.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where you hear the tagline.
Yeah, he's like a chest buster in Aliens, but instead of like screaming and running off and being scary, he looks up at the hillbilly and says, "Gobble gobble, motherfucker."
And then, like
You're
the
on
van,
candid
which
camera.
the van didn't get that far away from him. He got out and walked, and he's a fat guy. The van pulls up, and the nerd leaps out and is like, "No,
Yeah.
Billy was my best friend."
I think
Yeah, they ate ice
someone
cream together.
I think someone at some point like drops the term foul play
Yeah.
But this is the only time we have emotion in the movie is when Nerd is very emotional over Billy. And
then we have flashback.
Yeah, like he's like, no, Billy was cool and he made me cool. There's two things that are wrong right there. Like, no, both wrong.
And then they have like these really, really gay flashbacks.
Yeah, there's another montage of them eating ice cream together and skipping and swinging.
They're feeding each other ice cream.
Yeah, they're not just eating their own ice cream cones. They're doing that thing where like their arms are intertwined and they're feeding each other their cones.
And the song
Playing
is ridiculous.
Yeah, the song is super stupid. It's super shitty. They're holding hands and skipping. Like, what we didn't know is that these two dudes were totally gay for each other.
They were lovers.
And they kept that really under wraps.
That's why he was so emotional.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, and they don't do anything with his body. They don't call anybody. They don't try and move it. They don't cover it up. They're like, well,
the cops don't exist. I mean, all the cops in the world were killed.
That's probably what
sheriff.
happened with that one sheriff. So they say, bye, Hillbilly's body, and they leave it on the side of the road.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
His wounds looked like a bunch of like T-shirts clumped together.
Yeah.
Just with like a lot of red.
It was like a bunch of rags that they soaked in Kool-Aid and threw on him.
Yeah.
God,
That's what it looked like.
So now we cut to a tent where the turkey is making a salad.
Yeah, he's tossing
a salad. He's tossing a salad.
Yeah,
He's health conscious.
He's got the two, those two salad tossers. One that looks kind of like a spork, and the one that's the big spoon. And he's just tossing a salad to classical music. Yeah, he's like, oh, this is gonna be so great. And he's like talking to himself, like working himself up over how good this salad is gonna be.
It's genius.
He's a health-conscious turkey.
It is bonkers. So, the kid's plan is to find this teepee, and they do immediately.
Well, it's by the side of the road, and they're like, we have to sneak up on the turkey. So they pull up 2 feet from the teepee.
Yeah.
And discuss it loudly outside. It's like, hey!
Okay, what we're going to do is, I'm going to go around the back of the teepee. Yeah, they're like screaming at each other.
Said hi.
And like their plan hinges on some rope and a lighter, but the rope is actually just string.
Yeah.
Like apparently Ace Hardware was closed that day, and instead of getting 3 feet of rope, they got like dental floss.
Did you notice how small the teepee was before they went in it?
Yeah, it was.
And then they all fit inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, the teepee was roughly 2 foot shorter than the tallest person. But when they all go inside, it's like one of those like fun houses where it's like yards and yards of material. There's like art hanging, and there's electricity in this teepee.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
This turkey's doing better than our hick earlier.
God damn it. They jump in there, and the plan works without a hitch. They string up the turkey, they pull his talisman off, and they're all able to read from this code book this special prayer or something, like this incantation that is just a bunch of like, geeble gooble, harble garble, Thanksgiving, Thankskilling, geeble gobble.
Isakosa.
Yeah, it's like, they're like, oh, it's in Indian, so it's obviously going to sound retarded.
well,
That's racist.
and they're like, his immortality is gone. Let's get him. And the turkey somehow breaks free of the dental floss.
No,
This
it doesn't.
loosely tied string.
It doesn't break free. It just runs. They only tied its wings.
Then why didn't it leave in the first place?
It wanted to play it out and see what happens.
See where they're going with this.
I thought what was going on because like they only tied his wings. They only went around this damn bird once with the string, and so of course it's going to run away. Its legs still work, idiots. Oh, so yeah, the turkey like jumps out of the tent, and this is when Ted shows up again, Mr. Nugent, and like blasts him in the head.
The turkey's like, oh shit.
Well, somewhere towards the beginning, I knew that Ted Nugent would be back to save the day.
Yeah, you can't just you can't pop up with such a dynamic and
Did you notice his new addition?
no.
He went from having 2 eyes to having an eye patch.
What, Ted Nugent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere along
he
the way
did.
he lost an eye
Somewhere
on his,
during this turkey hunt.
in his journey to get this turkey.
I totally forgot about that.
God, they fooled me twice. One like with the Jeep and now with the eye.
Yeah, damn. Like I thought I was keeping
Questioning.
like up to date with this stuff, but Ted shoots the turkey and it flies through the air and falls into a dumpster out in the middle of the woods.
They're in the middle of like an open park
Yeah,
or
and
something.
there's just like a waste management dumpster there, open, and he just like slam dunk. And they walk over, and so now what we've got left here is Nerd, Normal Girl, Jock, and Ted. And like I think it's Normal Girl who, when they look over the thing, they're like, "Oh shit, he's dead."
Yeah.
Well, and then they're like, "Thank you, hillbilly. Well, our parents are dead, our friends are dead. Want to watch a movie?"
Well,
Yeah.
No, but you're forgetting, like, Ted makes a misstep, and he's like, I'm glad I killed this turkey, and I got it before it got anyone else, because at least it only got my dog. It's like, it's not like it got my mom, or my dad, or my best friend. Well, see you later.
Oh, yeah.
He, like, brings up every one of their tragedies, like, in order, and he's like, well, now that that's over, see ya.
He's just miserable, and he's trying to bring people down with him. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I got off
He's
easy on
lonely.
this whole turkey thing.
I'm just a lonely old hobo. So, yeah, that's when they decide that after the battle with the demonic turkey, it's movie time, guys.
Woo.
There's nothing better that, like, nothing will take your mind off of murdered relatives than like a really funny rom-com, right?
Well, I have a note here actually that I can't remember why I wrote it. All it says is Nerd Ass Fever 180.
Oh,
Nerd. What?
that comes in later.
Okay.
Oh, well, it's okay. So they're watching the movie, and then we cut back to the dumpster. Like, I thought, yes, this movie is finally over. But this is when, like, time slows down. We go into an alternate universe, and shit starts to happen. One crazy thing after another that makes you think that there's 2 hours left in this movie.
Well, and now we cut back to the dumpster, and it's got a radioactive waste symbol on it.
Yeah. People were just...
Because that's there in the park.
Yeah, it's just sitting around. People were just throwing away. Like, when you go to a picnic and you're done with your radioactive waste, you got to throw it
Where
somewhere.
else are you going to put it?
Yeah,
Don't
where
put
else
those-
can you put it?
Don't put those depleted uranium rods anywhere. There's a dumpster for that shit.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Silly.
So, radioactive dumpster, and he's like, uh-oh. So
Well, and then we get like the most hackneyed. The jock looks over, and is like, "I've lost a lot of people today. Can you be my girlfriend?"
yeah, and he's like the coolest guy in the world, but he can't spit out the words. He says,
Ugh.
I may have lost my parents, but I've gained a girlfriend. He's finding a silver lining in all of this.
Well, and then they immediately start making out in front of the nerd.
Yeah, the nerd is like pressed up against one of them.
Yeah, they're on this very small couch, and I think they went a step beyond making out, because they started making out, and then they hit the floor, and then they went to straight on fucking.
Okay.
It got hot and heavy.
Yeah,
Well, and then the nerd's like, "I have to go pee," and I put that in quotations.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta get out of here. Because, I mean, of course, it was socially awkward watching your new best friends fucking on the floor while you're trying to watch a movie.
Still thinking about Billy.
Yeah, he's still a little sad about that.
He wish he was making out with Billy right now.
But, radioactive turkey shows up, and this is like the only theme killing since the beginning of the movie. He skewers Nerd with a electric turkey cutter.
Well, no. First he stabs him in the ass with a thermometer, which is where Adam's
That's where my
nerd ass
right.
fever comes from.
Yes, he gets stabbed in the ass with a thermometer. And, like, then, like, he
and it's
bites...
180 degrees.
Yeah.
And then he starts pecking him. Like, he pecks his entire chest out in super
he's-
speed.
Well,
he's-
the
no,
turkey
no.
is also glowing green because he's radioactive now.
Yeah, I forgot. The nerd doesn't get killed with the knife. He gets his tongue pulled out, and then 9 minutes of pecking go by when finally, like, the turkey pulls out his heart and it just bounces around the floor.
Well,
And
and then
one time a turkey kills someone like he should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then the most offensive thing in this movie happens is that apparently Billy went to heaven, and I don't like that. He's like, "Come on, it's great up here." Like,
No,
no,
turkeys up here.
you made
Yeah.
this movie, you go to hell.
Nerd meets Billy in heaven, and they're like, oh, I kind of like, my memory's a little foggy, but I almost felt like Hillbilly was wearing like a tux or something.
It's probably like a tuxedo shirt or something.
He finally got his life cleaned up or something, like in heaven. So, everyone's dead now, except for our couple who are still like asleep on the couch.
And so Jock hears like laughing or something,
Yeah.
and immediately thinks turkey.
Yeah.
And then then he walks into the kitchen and goes, "Hey, nerd, what are you doing?" He's like, "Making a sandwich." He goes, "Well, that's fine." Turns around, and turkey cutter.
Yeah, but I think at one point, like when Jock goes to check out Nerd's situation, he's like, the turkey's dead, man. We saw it got shot in the head. He's like, the only way it could come back is if it fell into like some radioactive waste or something. But what are the odds of that? Uh-oh. That's good, radioactive waste.
A gubba gubba.
Yeah, so
That's the thing in this movie. It's like they actually do call themselves out on the dumb stuff they do, but it doesn't make it funny or clever.
That doesn't make it right.
no, it doesn't make it right. So
it makes it terrible.
that's when we get Jock that gets skewered with the electric turkey cutter. And the turkey he drops another classic pun. Like, as he's running the Jock through, he's like, I always come back for seconds.
No.
Oh, I always come back for seconds.
Pun.
So then we have like a lot of talk about the lighter that Johnny's supposed to have. He's like, do you have the lighter? Do I have the lighter? Where's the lighter? We got to burn this thing. Where's the lighter?
And then they go out to a shack,
Yeah.
like a tool shed. And unfortunately, the romance that would have lasted forever does not.
No.
Oh.
He dies.
Johnny dies. But
Why?
for some reason, there's a flaming pile of wood nearby.
No, there's a bonfire set up.
Yeah, already set up in the park with nobody around.
Yeah. It's just there. And like what does she knock it with? Like a golf club or something?
I don't
It
know.
wasn't a baseball bat, something like
Who
that.
cares?
It was some sporting implement, and she's like, see you in hell, bitch, and like knocks it into the fire.
There's a cross.
Yeah. It was a cross. So she knocks Demon Turkey into the fire, into the fire in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of goddamn nowhere. So Ted shows up again. Like, Ted only shows up when it's least convenient.
It's not like he has a lot going on.
Yeah, he's a very busy man. Ted says, "Good
Being a hobo is
job."
hard out there. Yeah. He on his grind. So
Ted says, "Good job," and she bites into a chicken leg from nowhere.
She reaches into the bonfire and pulls out a radioactive turkey demon leg.
Was that it? I just thought she pulled it out of nowhere. Like, I was
She
like,
must have got it from the
she
bonfire.
did pull out a note.
She picks it up.
Wait, is this after the turkey's dead?
Yeah, like the turkey is in the fire and burnt, and like she's looking at it. Ted comes over. He's like, "Good job." She's like, "I know," and bites this chicken leg.
She picks it up. But just off the ground, because the turkey like explodes, or it's ridiculous. She picks up this turkey leg, and I'm thinking, radioactive demon turkey. That's probably not on your dietary
She'll
needs.
gain its power.
I must have missed the part where she picked it up, because I could have swore that like it just came out of nowhere.
I think it did just come out of nowhere. In the universe of Thankskilling, people just take stuff out of nowhere.
It's all part of that turkey magic.
Yeah, she just
makes more
reaches
sense.
off camera, like off screen, and like someone hands her some shit, and then she's like, "Yum, corn dog." And so you think, finally, this shit is over. This shit is done.
But meanwhile, somewhere else.
Yes, somewhere far, far away, we have a family eating Thanksgiving dinner, and they're like doing the prayer, and it's all somber and nice, and like, "Oh, thank you, Heavenly Father, for this and that." And the turkey they're about to eat, it's like starts roiling and rocking all over the place, and then it is lifted up as if on like some sort of pulley system, because it's like swinging and it's not very coordinated. So apparently and then what is it, like the last line is like, "I'll be back," or some stupid shit like that, right?
Like he says he's going to be back in space or something.
"I'll see you in space." And yeah, so
that's
that leads me to believe that this town is so low on resources that a well-dressed, well-to-do family has to get their turkeys from random piles of burning wood.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can figure is that they happened to be walking through a park or something early in the morning and they found a pre-cooked turkey laying there.
But
It was a family of hobos. They just broke into somebody's house after they found the turkey so they could have a nice dinner.
and took all their clothes?
Yep.
Because, like, that turkey was cooked to perfection. It wasn't as if it was just thrown into a naked fire.
Well, if you want to get a good turkey, that's the way you got to do
A
it.
good demon possession often leads to a good roasted turkey.
God damn, it was so fucking...
You want to exercise your turkey?
It was... It was so bad. But, you know, in any bad movie, there's a part where you think, all right, this made the movie for me. This was my favorite part.
Can everyone please be quiet? Yo, shut up! Shut up!
Hey, it's my favorite part.
Right on. So what was...
Andrew, since we have you here, can I ask you, why is that so creepy?
Because I was watching Vertigo. You know that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. And I try to emulate something like that, and I guess I'm just a creepy person,
Well,
so...
All right.
There we go.
It adds the correct amount of suspense for our next segment. So, Andrew, since you recommended this movie to us, what was your favorite part of it?
I have to say the part where the Billy song, when Billy dies and he's crying, he's like, Billy, you were my best friend. I thought it was actually pretty funny. So that's the most time I laughed.
It seemed like something that would be in a South Park movie.
Yeah, it did. The singing definitely sounded like it.
I was just about to say that, like that's the kind of thing you'd see in like one of the episodes where Kenny dies for the millionth time.
And they finally actually
But
care.
gosh, that was terrible. Okay, so Andy, what was your favorite part of this movie?
My favorite part of the movie is probably when the turkey points out what we're all thinking. You kids are retarded.
Kids are retarded.
Yeah, he really hit the nail on the head with that one.
Like, the entire time I watched this movie, I was like, why is everybody so dumb?
Seriously, they were super dumb.
Yeah, like there's comically dumb and then there's like irritatingly dumb, and they were even beyond that. Like, I can't believe that guy got a license to drive a car. He was so fucking stupid. So Adam, what was your favorite part of this movie?
My favorite part was the random radioactive waste dumpster.
That did add a lot. I gotta say, like, that's probably my least favorite part because that stretched the movie out for that extra 18 minutes.
That's true. I didn't think about it that way.
I think, for my money, my favorite part, the only thing that got an audible noise out of me that wasn't like a or like a the small talk scene with the coffee and the sheriff and the turkey wearing the like when the turkey shows up with the Groucho nose, like, I literally laughed out loud. I was like,
Funny!
Sounded like you were scared.
Funny! But it's only funny in comparison. Like, if you cut that scene out of the movie and show it to someone, like, off the street without any context of the shit that bumpers it on either side, it's just like, what the fuck is going on? But it was such a pleasant oasis in such a desert of shit,
You were saying those last, 10 minutes felt like 4 hours. The last 30 minutes felt like 4 hours for me.
Like, I thought, I looked at, for me anyway, I looked at when where I thought the movie should have ended, and I was still 18 minutes into it, but 5 of those were 5 of those minutes that were left were credits, so it was only the last 13 that felt like so long to me.
Like, I actually liked it. I was like, oh, this is, funny because it's so bad, but then it, keeps going. You're like, wait, no.
You guys are done.
Like, I feel like at when there was 18 minutes left on the clock, like, that's when the novelty of the Groucho nose and the sheriff back and forth kind of wore off.
Yeah.
So
Goodwill's gone.
Yeah, everything that was good about that is dead. So,
along with turkey.
Why don't we, let's give this movie a rating. Andrew, let's start with you again. On a scale of from 1 to 5 dying stars, 5 being the worst and 1 being the best, what would you give this movie that you made us watch?
I'd give it a 5.
You gave it a 5.
I'd give it a 5. Like, there's little things that I like, but it's a 5. It's definitely a 5. It's utter shit.
Yeah, it's like
At least you
balls out
admit it.
terrible.
Yeah, it's not even like, oh, this is so bad. I love it for its flaws. It's no. it's an abortion.
Okay, so we got a 5 from Andrew. Let's go to Adam next. Adam, what did you rate this movie?
I'm also giving it a 5.
Yikes.
It had no redeemable qualities at all.
Yeah.
And the dialogue was painful to listen to.
Yeah, the special effects and, like, the Predator vision, it's
not shot well.
Not good. Andy, what did you give this movie?
I'll give it a 4.
Really? And why is that?
I liked the turkey every once in a while.
He's a
Turkey
good
was an
guy.
okay dude.
He was an alright guy.
Hey,
'Cause,
you don't
like,
know him like I know him, okay?
yeah,
Kind
I
of guy
mean,
you want to go get drinks with.
he did kill that one pervert.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's not all bad.
Plus, not enough movies have turkey fucking in them.
I think this would probably be the only one.
That always makes points.
That's all
with
we
Andy.
need.
Since I am a fan of puns and like I love shitty jokes, and this had just enough sprinkled throughout to make me be like, oh, all right, I get it. Like I'm not laughing, but I get it. I gave this a solid 4 dying stars as well, because if there had been a deleted scene and it was that back and forth with the sheriff, or the even the part where we find out that the lady shit in his coffee. Like if they cut out any of that sheriff, it would have been a solid 5. I maybe even would have like reevaluated the star system and pushed it up to a 10.
Oh, wow.
So it was bad. But when you're watching this movie, or any movie in general, any bad movie, you're going to get a little peckish. So you think, what's next? Do I want to eat with this crap?
Sitting there, watching whatever you're watching. You wish you had something to eat. Come on, yeah. 'Cause every day I'm wondering what are the snacks that go good with crap.
With me, Andrew Pabone.
I love that new theme song, man. That is so great.
Thanks.
But I think, like, as I was watching this movie, I don't want to step on anybody's bit if, like, they have a Thanksgiving-themed food. But I was sitting there, and, like, this puppet looks like... It looks like fried hell. It looks like like someone actually took a turkey and dried it out and stuffed their hand up its ass. So as I was watching it, I was like, you know what I haven't had in a long time looking at this turkey? I'm like, I haven't had any beef jerky in a while. Like, this looks like beef jerky with a beak. I think that's an apt corollary. So I go with beef jerky if you're going to watch
Go
this
get yourself
movie.
some turkey jerky.
Hey, yeah.
So you're saying you'd eat beef jerky?
Oh,
God. Let's go to you next, Andy. What was the snack for this crap?
Well, obviously, if you're going to be watching this movie normally, it's going to be somewhere near or after Thanksgiving, because it's one of those themed movies. So what I want you to do is take all your leftovers and put them together in a delicious Thanksgiving sandwich. Turkey, cranberry sauce, maybe some stuffing in there.
See,
Slap it all together.
what I thought you were going to go with is, like, this movie had parts that other movies make successful but ruin it. I thought you were going to just, like, take everything from your Thanksgiving feast and, like, put it in a blender
That's what I was thinking
and,
too.
like,
It's
chug
a
that
Thanksgiving smoothie.
nonsense shake.
Gulp it down and then throw it up, and that's what equates to this movie.
All right,
guy,
Adam.
1 cup.
Adam, what was your snack for this movie?
My snack it's not something of my own design, but it's called a Thanksteenie. It's a drink. 1 part vodka, 2 parts cranberry juice, and 1 chicken bouillon cube.
Ew. I guess that's better than what I thought it was going to be, because I could have swore, like, you were going to say, the vodka, the cranberry juice, and then, like, gravy.
Oh, yeah.
See, I thought it was going to be gravy too.
Like a thick, milky drink that's full of vodka. Ugh.
But it's like Thanksgiving in a glass.
Now I want gravy.
Yeah, you need...
I'm not going to the Kentucky Fried Chicken with you again.
Remember what happened last time.
I'll never eat there again. Andrew, what was your snack for this crap?
I would recommend chloroform or alcohol.
Chloroform.
I gotta go with the chloroform idea, because...
And make sure you take the chloroform at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
There you
don't,
go, yeah.
don't wait. Don't hold off. You'll want that. Or, like, maybe ether?
Yeah. Arsenic,
Arsenic?
another one.
Oh, God. Like a 45 caliber lead pill.
Yeah, anything that's gonna, knock you out.
Maybe permanently. So, since we broke down this movie, and no one ever has to see it, ever, what should people see instead? Adam, what do you think people should see instead of Thankskilling?
Well, I think Andy might have already recommended this one for a different movie, in the very few episodes we've done.
We're already overlapping ourselves. This is great.
I'm sorry, but this is the only one that really came to mind that kind of fit the same feel. I don't know. really, you could go see anything other than this, and it would be better. But I was gonna say Slither.
Oh, that's not a bad choice.
Well, it's a horror movie, but it's also a comedy, which is kind of what this one was trying to do, and was abysmal. But Slither is good.
Comedy.
Yeah, something that doesn't fail on both levels.
I could see that.
And Nathan Fillion is a great man.
Okay, Andy, why don't you give us yours?
I'm gonna go for a better holiday-themed bad horror movie
I know
that's
exactly what
supposed to
you're
be a
gonna say.
comedy, but it's actually pretty funny. It's Santa's Sleigh.
With Goldberg!
Yeah.
At the very beginning, he kills Fran Drescher and one of the annoying guys from Night at the Roxbury, Chris Kattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does it in a pretty hilarious way, too, so I have to go... I have to, back you up on that, but I guess
That's a
kind
good
of
call.
takes it off the table for us to watch it for our Christmas episode.
Santa Claus
see.
Conquers the Martians is always up there.
Yikes. Okay, Andrew, what would you recommend people watch instead of this movie?
I was just thinking of movies where animals kill people, so I would say Jaws. That's probably way better.
It's a
Than,
very vague correlation, but I would agree.
Yeah,
See, I was kind of seeing that correlation myself, but I think since the turkey is a puppet and you want to watch a good puppet movie, why not watch the Muppet movie?
Really?
connecting
I
the
prefer
dots.
the Great Muppet Caper.
Watch the one where Fozzie and Kermit are going to Hollywood and they pick up the Studebaker and
That's a good one.
That movie is awesome from start to finish. So
Or wait for the new one that's coming out later this year with Jason Segel
And Amy Adams.
and Amy Adams.
I
Muppets
only
in this
watch Henson era Muppet movies.
This one, Jason Segel is a good writer and actor. I'm looking forward to this one.
And
You're a
Songwriter.
Muppet elitist.
I'm a Muppet hipster.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I knew Muppets before they were cool.
I was into the Muppet Show before there even was a Muppet Show.
God, that's so
Mana
creepy.
mana, huh?
All right, good show, guys, and awesome recommendation. So let's throw out the email address. If you got a movie you just want us to review, put that in an email and send it to thereviewniverse@gmail.com. We've got a couple of recommendations already going. Thanks to Andrew, we had to watch this steaming piece of shit.
You're welcome.
But, there's got to be something better out there for us, or worse. So, somebody recommend something so I don't have to be the recipient of oh, I hate you, this movie sucked, Dave, text messages all the time.
And they're always on Thursdays. And it's,
Yeah, I always I know when Thursday rolls around, I'm gonna get my phone goes off and it's fuck you, and I'm like, but I didn't, So if you've got a recommendation, stick that in an email, send it off to reviewniverse@gmail.com, or send us any praise or hate mail you like. I'll read it all.
if you've got a recommendation, you can stick that in your craw.
Yuck. I was trying to think of a pun with a drumstick, but it's too late in the game for that.
Boom, 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 boom. Wow.
So, thanks for being on the show, Andrew, and also thanks again for making all this great music for it. It's
Yes,
better
thank
because of you, buddy.
No problem.
But
Hooray.
if you ever recommend a movie like that to us again, I'm gonna have to fly to Virginia and seek some revenge.
Don't tell me you do review bad movies and I give you a bad movie and you get mad at me. Don't you do that.
Don't you dare! That's not the world I was
ever!
raised in. It's not where I want to live.
That's not what we say about grandma.
You never.
All right, guys. So until next week, thanks for listening, and remember, we'll watch it so you don't have to.
A Fistful of Podcasts production.